Hello there, everyone. Zach McCright with Zach and the Coach on 101 ESPN, and decided today for 101sports.com, instead of writing you my stream of unconsciousness, I was going to do it in a little bit of a video. Not so many topics as I usually do in my writing form this week. Mostly I just got something on the Rams, something on the Cardinals, and then I've got a little something on one of the shows that I'm currently watching on Netflix. But other than that, let's get going. And I really want to hear your feedback on whether you like the video or not. I'll write if you think it's easier to consume that way, or if I basically just write better than doing a video, because God knows I don't have the face for video. Either way, let me know, and I'll get started. You know, there's so many Cardinal stats that have been fantastic this year so far. And I mean, why not? Because when you're 8-3 going into last night's game, yeah, you're going to have a lot of stats that bear that out. But I think one that doesn't get talked about enough is the first inning performances by the Cardinals so far this season. In 6 of their 12 games now, the Cardinals have scored in the first inning. That makes life a lot easier on the Cardinals starting pitchers. That's not anything that is rocket science here, but I think it bears out in the starting pitchers' numbers that they are so good so far because of what you're seeing in the first inning offense out of the Cardinals. 6 out of 12 games they're scoring, and when you account for a lot of those games being on the road so far, these pitchers are going out. The Cardinals starting pitchers are going out there with a lead before they even throw a pitch. That's got to be a good place to be, and it's a great place to be for Mike Matheny as a new Cardinals manager. He hasn't been put in a whole lot of spots so far that have required a lot of thinking, a lot of looking into the future, a lot of who do I do, what do I do here, what do I do here. Not a whole lot of that, a little bit, but not a whole lot, and that bodes just so well. For a brand new manager who hasn't managed at any level, and we've said that ad nauseum, to be able to get his feet wet at the major league level by not having to manage too much. Now, that's no slight, but I think you guys know what I mean. So the first inning offense, I think, is just a stat that hasn't been talked about enough about the St. Louis Cardinals during their pretty good start so far. One of the other things I wanted to talk to you about. I'm into Netflix, okay? Whenever there are free nights in my life, which have been a little bit more. There've been a little bit more of those since the Rams season ended and the Cardinals, and before the Cardinals season started. I'm watching Mad Men. Mad Men. I don't know if you've seen it. I won't explain it to you, but it's basically set in the late 1950s, early 1960s, and it's ad agencies basically, which ruled the roost really back then. What a crappy cliche, ruled the roost. But anyway, they were the people who came up with advertising campaigns for the big companies and put their ads in newspapers and the new television that was just becoming popular in those days. But anyway, I'm about 8 episodes into the second season now, and I'm flying through it. And I just want to say that Betty Draper's crazy, but I kind of like it. And I think Joan is smoking hot. And that's all I got for you. Great analysis about television. My third thing is about the Rams and the Rams schedule. Just a couple things off the top of my head. Number 1, week 1, Rams at the Lions. And right off the bat, we're going to see if Cortland Finnegan is going to be earning the big paycheck that he is getting. It'll be Cortland Finnegan versus Megatron, Calvin Johnson, in week 1. That's one of the first things that popped into my head when I saw the schedule. One of the other things is, if I didn't like the trip to London enough for the St. Louis Rams, this schedule made me hate it more. In week 8 this year, the Rams go to London to take on the New England Patriots, and never mind that the Rams and Rams fans lose a chance to see, probably their last chance to see Tom Brady at the Edward Jones Dome in Tom Brady's career. But on top of that, the schedule is so front-loaded with home games that after week 7 this year, after week 7, the Rams will only have 3 home games at the Edward Jones Dome left. I'm just not a big fan of that at all. If I didn't hate the London game before, I hate it a whole lot more now. But guess what? I did hate it before. Anyway, the only other thing is that it's great to have a primetime game at home for the Rams. Couldn't have come at a better time than being 2-14 the year before, and then going, hey, you're going to get a primetime game. But good time for Jeff Fisher to come in, because I think Jeff Fisher comes in at a time where if it was still Steve Spagnuolo, you'd be playing this primetime game on the road and not at the Edward Jones Dome. But you get that one extra storyline, Jeff Fisher back in the NFL, boom, you get a primetime game in the National Football League at home. And maybe that's a mea culpa for losing a home game at the Edward Jones Dome too, because you have to go to London. That's all I got today. I appreciate you watching this. I can't believe you got all the way through it. Tell me if you like it or not. Shoot me a tweet at Big Easy, at BIGEZ on Twitter. Shoot me a tweet and tell me if you like this or if you'd rather me write more, and we'll talk to you next time.